Hello everyone, I'm Shivani and welcome back to vakilaw. So we were discussing about the subject intellectual property rights, and in my previous videos I have discussed about the meaning and definition of the concepts of intellectual property and also intellectual property rights. We've also discussed the characteristics of intellectual property and intellectual property rights. We have also taken a brief look about the growth, scope, role, significance and importance of intellectual property and intellectual property rights in today's world. So now we are moving forward to yet another topic, which is what is the Indian scenario or how India is tackling with the subject and issue of intellectual property rights, its promotion and protection and laws regarding the same. So now let us take a look at the Indian scenario for intellectual property rights. So basically we've understood what is intellectual property and what is intellectual property rights. So now further understand that intellectual property rights or the concept of intellectual property rights is a general term. It has numerous types. Let me give you a few examples. Those are patents, copyrights, trademarks, industrial designs, geographical indications, layout design of an integrated circuit, undisclosed information or trade secrets, and new plant varieties. Now, if we take into consideration specifically about the Indian scenario, I'm very happy to say that we are enough fortunate that we have a strong legal structure for promotion and protection of intellectual property rights. Now, let's take a look of which kinds of intellectual properties are protected under which laws. So to understand the legal structure for protection and promotion of intellectual property rights in India, I have divided two categories of intellectual properties which you can see on your screens now. The first category is literary and artistic works and second one is industrial property. So basically literary and artistic works are protected by the concept of copyright, or it falls under the category of copyright, and this copyright is governed in India by the Indian Copyrights Act of 1957. Now considering the industrial property, I have cited 5 types. Okay, so first one is trademarks, which is protected and governed under the Trademarks Act 1999. Patents, they are protected and governed by the Patents Act of 1970. Designs, the Designs Act 2000. Plant varieties, they are protected and governed by the Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers' Rights Act of 2001. And last is geographical indications, which is protected and governed by the Geographical Indications of Goods Registration and Protection Act of 1999. So now we have understood that we have a strong legal structure, and all of these acts I'll be discussing one by one in my later videos. So here we have different kinds of provisions, definitions, provisions for promotion and protection of the particular type of intellectual property. Like for example, you may find provisions regarding to copyrights under the Copyright Act, patents under the Patents Act, design under Design Act, and so on. So I'll be discussing about them in the upcoming videos, and we'll also study about the punishments that have been prescribed by that particular act which relate to infringement. So if any kind of intellectual property has been infringed or even has been stolen, so there is a strong legal provision for in context with punishments. So we'll discuss about it one by one. Okay, so now we've understood that we have a strong legal structure which promotes and governs laws relating to intellectual property rights and its protection. Now let us see which are the administrative authorities which govern the intellectual property rights in India. Okay, so basically patents, designs, trademarks and geographical indications are governed by the Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks. Copyright is governed by or is under the charge of the Ministry of Human Resource Department, or which is popularly known as HRD. Layout designs and integrated circuits are under the charge of Ministry of Telecommunication and Information Technology, or IT, and the protection of plant varieties is governed by the Ministry of Agriculture. So now we've understood in total that the concept, its characteristics, role, significance, and also have discussed about what is the Indian scenario or what is the Indian structure, legal structure with concern to intellectual property and intellectual property rights, its promotion and protection. So this was just a bird's eye view of the overall vast concept of intellectual property. There is much more to learn in this subject. I hope that you have now been engaged with this concept, and we'll one by one discuss about the different types of intellectual properties and what are the laws and what are the provisions regarding the same. So see you in the next video. Till then, this is me, Shivani, signing off, and stay tuned to vakilaw. Bye bye.